Hi guys, today I will be showing you how to set up Auth.js in Next.js. We will start by creating a simple Next app with the command create Next app followed by a space and a full stop. This creates the Next.js app directly in the root folder. Now head over to the Auth.js docs website, which I will link in the description, and copy the first command to install NextAuth into our project. We also need to create a secret for JWT. For that, we will copy the second command and run it in our terminal. Next, we need to create an auth.ts file in our root folder. Copy the code from the docs and paste it into our project. We will be editing this file shortly. To help with OAuth-related routing in future videos, we need to create the directory structure exactly as shown in the documentation. Once that's done, copy the code as shown. The next step is setting up the Prisma ORM in our project. We will start by installing the required dependencies. Now let's initialize Prisma with an output directory. You will see that a schema.prisma file has been generated, along with an env file. For simplicity, we will be using Docker to run our Postgres server. Pull the Docker image for Postgres and set the environment variables required to run the server. Now we will edit the database URL in our env file. Keep in mind the schema and PG bouncer tags are optional in the database URL. Next, create a prisma.ts file in the root of the project and paste the code. Now let's go back to auth.ts and add the Prisma adapter. We will also add the schema as shown in the docs. If you see an error in the Prisma file, it's because the Prisma client needs to be imported from the specific output directory we defined earlier. Once fixed, we can push the schema to our database. To check this, use any tool to connect to your database. I'm using dbeaver. You can see that the schema has successfully updated on the database. Now we can start creating our pages. I'm creating an auth folder, and inside it a layout.etsx file. I'll simply create a children node inside it. Next, we'll create a sign-up route. Inside, I'll create a simple form with email and password inputs, followed by a submit button. To make this form work, I'll create an action.ts file for our server logic. We'll start by creating a simple function with form data as a parameter. We will get the email and password from the form and check that they are not null. We will use Prisma to check if the user already exists. If not, we need to hash the password. For this, we'll install the bcrypt.js library. After importing bcrypt.js, we'll hash the password. Then we'll use a try-catch block to create a new user with the email and hashed password. Now, since the default schema doesn't contain a password field, we need to edit the schema to add one. We'll make the password field optional as Auth.js supports OAuth authentication as well. We will push the schema to the database and verify the update. Once the user is created, it will redirect to the sign-in page. We also need to edit the sign-up form by calling this function. Next, we will create a sign-in page. I'll use the same UI as the sign-up page, except for a few small changes. The form action now needs to be the sign-in function from auth.ts, which we need to create. Go to the auth.ts file and add credentials login to the providers. We will specify the email and password to be received from form data and add logic to check if they are empty. We'll use Prisma to fetch the user and check if the password matches the user input. If it matches, we return the user ID, email, and name. Now we edit the sign-in form action by specifying it as a credentials login with the form data input. We will also edit the layout.tsx file so that if any logged-in user tries to access the authentication route, they are automatically redirected to the dashboard. To do this, we'll fetch the session by calling the auth function. If a session exists, we want the page to redirect to the home route. Finally, we'll create a simple home route and protect it so only signed-in users can access it. In the UI, we'll display the user's email for verification. Remember, since NextAuth only supports JWT-based authentication for credentials login, we need to specify that in the auth.ts file. Let's check if it works. Go to localhost 3000 signup page, create a test user, and try to log in. You can see that it works smoothly and the page redirects to the home route. Please subscribe and like for more content.